A little bit about me. I'm Tony Teray. They call me Gangsta T. Some do. Some call me Hooker if you childhood. You know what I'm saying? But I was born in Taylor, Texas, raised in Boiler, Texas, to about 9, and then I've been in Temple ever since. So Temple is what you hear me talk a lot about, but I don't never want to forget Boiler, Texas, on my my starts in Taylor. You know, Boiler was cool just growing up, we run around barefooted playing football outside, sometimes with cans. We didn't have footballs all the time. And my mom ended up leaving my dad about 9. Well, before that, she even left him, I got ran over when I was young. My mom had ran into a 7-Eleven, and I was half asleep with the door open. I was probably about 8, about 8. I was half asleep with the door in the passenger side, and she ran into the store left the car running though. And my sister was playing with the gears, and the car started backing up. So I just woke up, and I tried to jump out the car. I think, yeah, I don't some kind of way my foot got caught getting out the car, and I got ran over. And the car didn't end up doing nothing but sitting back in parking. So I should just stay my black ass right where I was at. So that was like 3-4 months in the hospital. I think I had a doctor had to fly out from China to do surgery on me. I had crushed ribs, all kind of stuff. So I was messed up. I missed a whole year of school, everything. But yeah, skipping past that, like doctor told my mama I'd never be normal again. So, and he right. He was definitely right. Nothing near normal. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't want nothing near normal around me. So he was right about that. But I ain't think he mean it. He didn't mean it the way I turned it. I think he meant it another way. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so I recovered from that. My mom, she left my dad. We moved with grandma, moved to Temple. And that's when things kind of like turned. Because all I cared about is sports then. Even when I moved to Temple, my first time playing football in Mellow Village, I was barefooted, running around. They called me the country nigga, this and that. So my thing was sports all my life. My uncle made it. He's back up running back for Thurman Thomas and Buffalo Bills. So as a family, everybody just pushed to be like, trying to follow that mode. But soon after, I think we moved about 9, 10, about 91. When I hit that MV, life just changed for me. Because I've been in Bartlett, I never seen the shit that I was seeing then. Like shit, niggas smoking weed, niggas on the block hustling, fast money, this and that. So I started off just little hot dogs. I remember my mom would get them dollar food stamps. So I used to I steal a couple of them, go to 7-Eleven, get a thing of weenies, put them on a little grill, and I was selling them to the little to the older niggas out there hustling. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first taste of just hustle. Right there, about 10 years old, already hustling to the dudes that hustle. And I don't even know if they was all the way cooked right or whatever, but they out there with the munchies and they bought them from me. So that was my first taste of hustle. But yeah, so that was about 10, 11. Shout out to OG Weester, you know what I'm saying? My boy Steve P, he was married to my auntie at the time. And I used to, well, I can't get a disclosure out of that, but that he the first one that put me on weed first time. And I used to ride around and just see him hustle and just see him, hit licks and just see him, you know what I'm saying, just living that life. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. I ain't really never want to be no thug or no gangster. I just always was a rebel and want to do what I want to do. That was my main thing. I never wanted to destroy nobody, hurt nobody, break in no house. Like, ain't none of that thug or gangster to me. That's just dumb. I don't prescribe to none of that. It was just all about getting some money and just living life on your terms. Even then, I know I wanted to live life on my terms. I think that's why that life that he was living drawed me to it, because it's just like everybody said that's wrong. But you struggling, you waking up every day, you going to work, you barely making it, you living check to check. And at a young age, I grasped that concept that I didn't want. And another thing that made me change that up was just seeing my dad, my mom and dad, they worked at Intercraft, got shipped overseas when I was young. and they've been working there. They thought they was gonna retire there. So this is what I'm seeing at young, and I knew, I never knew, I knew I didn't want to never work for nobody. I don't even know, like, and I don't know how I got that in my mind because everybody I know worked for somebody, but I knew that wasn't a go. So at that age, when you 11 years old and you don't want to work for nobody and you're a rebel and you want to get money, you're going to follow the dudes that show you how to get money at 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was doing. But big homie ended up going to the pen. I think that's when he went for that 5 that first time. Yeah, he went for that 5 that first time. So, you know, he gone. So I'm kind of like lost. And I never been a people's person. So my thing was, I remember I got my first little 20 pack. I think I held on to that thing for maybe like 3 weeks, man. Because everybody said just buy some work. So I bought it, but I didn't know you supposed to buy it and just go hustle and sell it right then. I ain't never do that. I just like, shit, I got it, nigga. Walk around with it in a matchbox or in my sock or something. Shit, disintegrating and everything. You know what I'm saying? That first 20 pack, oh. But yeah, so I started just dibbing and dabbing with it. But like I said, I wasn't really hustling, you know what I'm saying? And like I say in the song, my first actual lick I hit in Mellow Village, I actually got caught. Not by the laws, but by my football coach, Coach Money. You know, I was an all-star quarterback for the Mustangs in Pop Warner. And he saw me, and he went and told her. Shit, I think my mama grabbed a broom or something on me. I don't know what she tried to come at me with. But it was just too late. When I went in there and I was like, damn, I spent 20 and I just made 50 back. Man, I gotta go spend that 50. I just made, you know what I'm saying? When I started adding that up in my head as a youngster, it was, and my mama didn't raise, she had us in church. My mama didn't even let us listen to rap music and shit. We listened to Michael Jackson and Bartlett, and that's it. I ain't hear about Paperboy and all that stuff till we moved to Temple and we started hearing some other people playing that stuff. My mama kept us away from all that. You know what I'm saying? So she definitely didn't raise me with that, but it was just like when you move to the wrong spot. And that's most of all of ours. You know, like my cousin in LA always say, man, if I'd have moved here, I'd have been this gang, but I moved here, so I'm that's just the way it goes. Like wherever your mama picked and your daddy picked that y'all live, that becomes who you are. And that's why on my new book, I got, I used to be a product of my environment. Now my environment is a product of me. Because that's the thing I want to put into these kids. Like, we got to start making our environment a product of us instead of us becoming a product of our environment, because a lot of us come from bad environments. But anyway, so yeah, 11, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing my thing. 10, no, it was about 11, I'm doing my thing, get jammed up. And she started whooping me about it. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to whoop me about it. You know what I'm saying? About then, I'm feeling I'm grown, so I ain't really trying to take no whooping, so I started running away. At 11, I think I ran away my first time. But I would just run away, come back, or I come back home and I sneak out. And then when I come back, she had a light on with the door locked, let me know she caught me. So, you know what I'm saying? So we did that back and forth from 11, 12. Like 12 and a half, right before I turned 13 is when I just said, man, I'm gone for good. And that's when I just left. You know, did my thing, got with an older woman. We got us an apartment because, you know, I had the money, but at 13, 14, you can't get no apartment. So got into that, you know, and just lived that life for a long time, you know. And I'll leave it at that for right now, you know. That's just a little introduction. I'm going to give you a lot more of me, but that's an introduction of the beginnings.